Hi, Libra. My name is Missy, and I'm here to do the bullshit and the blessings for the second half of September or whenever you happen to find the video. Really, if the details fit your situation, it's your reading. But if they don't, you don't want to try and force it, because who wants that kind of stress, really? Who wants that kind of paranoia over your shoulder waiting for something to happen that probably wasn't even meant for you to begin with, right? So obviously I'm not a doctor, lawyer, or accountant. So if you're looking for advice in those areas, you're definitely going to want to, talk to a professional. And, by the same token, don't read something simply because I talk about it or suggest it in one of these videos. You've got, responsibility for your own life. You know exactly what it is that is happening in your situation minute by minute. I'm just reading the cards right now as the energy stands in this moment. So with that said, we're going to do things a little bit differently for the next several weeks because of Mercury's retrograde in Libra and Mars in Gemini. So because of that, that means that we're going to have some relationship issues come up, probably issues around healing relationships. And these can be relationships of all kind, whether, from marriage to like business partnerships, any type of relationship where you have made a promise or signed a contract or you are obligated to someone else in some way, whether, that is through actual legal means or not. It's usually someone who's seen as a partner or a counterpart in some way. But because Mercury begins its retrograde in Libra, moves through Virgo and then back into Libra, this also moves from the 7th house into the 6th house. So this would cover the area of work, charity, service, like also health, but like how are you spending your time each day? What are you doing each day? So there are 6 planets in retrograde right now as well. So there's a lot of like revisiting old ideas, old patterns, old, situations, and, either for closure or to fix it, right? To maybe finally find a solution to something. So take that however it resonates for your situation. But because of that, I want to take my time in these readings. And typically if I'm filming some of these videos for either Facebook or YouTube, I'm trying to hurry so that I can keep the videos as short as I can. And I don't actually read the cards that way. Like the Mercury might be helping me out. I don't know. I might end up just doing longer readings just because that's how I read and I'm more comfortable, and they come out so much better if I just let myself relax and pay attention to the details, even if it takes a little bit longer and it's harder to upload the videos. Which also means that if you're watching for your sun, moon, and rising, it could be a couple of days before I get them all uploaded. We just have to see. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull some charms to get some general energies, and then we'll look at the cards to get the details. We have the song Stay by Zed and Alicia Cara. Right there. All right. Oh, interesting. So we have a question mark that came out next to my piece of ruby, but also it's next to the answer yes. So the ruby, part of the reason that I have it here is because it represents divine feminine or goddess energy. Obviously if you look at each of the different crystals that I have here, they're all high vibrational crystals that are meant, well, with the exception of the opalite. Opalite is just glass that's man-made. That's just there because of the moon. It's representing the moon, which is intuition. The blue kyanite is communication, right? I want to communicate with the God and goddess. We've got citrine here, which is solar plexus, masculine energy. The ruby here to represent divine feminine, goddess energy. But citrine is also abundance, right? We've got the selenite here to keep everything high vibe. We've got a little bit of Oh, I can never remember the name of this one, but this one is also a connection stone. So, you know, that's what everything here is to represent. And to have a question mark come out next to this piece of ruby, which is talking about like goddess and divine feminine energy. If you're asking about a feminine, the answer is yes. Absolutely. I mean, it's so very clear and obvious. How can you get around that, right? If you have questions about a specific feminine, a yes or no question, your answer is yes. So beyond that, we have, we've got the rune of communication, right? Of answers. And it's coming out over the word rephrase, which is basically saying, if you're not getting the answer, like if you're still not sure, if you're still unclear because of the question mark here, if you're still confused, ask it again, but ask in a different way, rephrase it, say, use different words, whatever, to get your point across. And then interesting, now we've got the rune of like the human, the humanitarian, or the rune of the self, right? The humanitarian rune. And it's right next to no. It's also in the very center of your board, and everything that falls in the center for me is either what you are focused on or what you should be focused on, what you need to focus on. And so we've got a lot of stuff coming out about love. This little star here says, I love you. This here says love and be loved. And then we've got the humanitarian rune, but it's in the reverse, right? I think it's saying you need to stop thinking about other people and love yourself. Also, you've got a piece of blue tiger eye here, so more about communication. Maybe that's the reason that I felt like I needed to point out the blue kyanite. Any blue stone, particularly this color of blue, is going to connect to like intuition. Well, actually your throat and your third eye, because you can tell it's kind of a mix of blue colors, right? Indigo and blue are typically third eye and throat. Excuse me for a second. I apologize for that, Libra. Someone came to the door, and of course, you know, I was talking to them for a minute, and then I had to cough a couple of times before I could start the video again. So I believe where we left off in the charm reading, we were speaking about this area here in the center, and I think I didn't say anything about the O yet, so we'll get to that in just a minute. So if we're talking about what's going on here in the center with the intuition coming through twice, you're looking for answers. Maybe you need to rephrase your question. Uh-oh. I don't know what I just did. I hit the wrong button on my... What did I just do? Yes. I apologize. I don't know what I just did. But I just skipped the song accidentally. All right, so basically the overall for this, you have questions, right? Probably questions about a feminine. If a yes or no question, it's a yes. If you're still confused after that, maybe you need to ask again, rephrase, try again some way. Now, the interesting thing about this particular rune here, this is the, it's like the God's breath is what this rune is, but it's in the reverse. So it's, you know, the fact that that it has the meaning of the God's breath, or God's breath communication answers the word of God to it, but being upside down, and with the goddess attachment to the ruby, my intention of bringing in the gods and goddesses with the crystals that I have here, and then the intuition that's connected to these two particular crystals. So I feel like all of that is saying, like, I think the reason that you're not getting the answers that you're looking for, right? It has to do with your connection. Either you're already connected to a specific goddess, or you need to be, or there's something about the divine feminine. But in here, it's saying focus on you rather like. Actually, hold on. This can be, because here's the thing. This particular rune is actually sitting behind the eye, right? So maybe, you know, it's kind of not quite in your focus yet, right? And so when you're talking about like, you know, humanity, support, or yourself, having it in the reverse, it's like saying that you can't help others or you don't want to help others. There's something about that, right? So here's the thing. I know I said before, like you should focus on yourself. But I think what this is really saying, especially when it's attached to the intuition, being attached to the goddess, not getting the correct answers that you want, being out of balance, like if you are the person who is constantly taking care of others, you need to flip the script, right? And do the opposite, because we are in a retrograde, and right now it's a time for review. And the review typically happens to either bring closure to something or to bring solutions, right? So, but if it's the opposite and you have been reluctant to help others, these two particular terms are saying you need to be compassionate and put love at the forefront or at the focus of what you're doing. Especially if you're looking for, when it comes to like communication, if you're looking for answers. Now, if you are asking about a situation, asking a yes or no question about a situation or a person or something with the letter O, the answer is no. Okay, so from there, we're going to actually move on to the cards. We do have the song Rapture by Blondie. You may want to look that up to see if it resonates for your situation. And I apologize if I cough again.
Do you have that?
My floor? In my bedroom? Sure. Yeah. One more. So interesting. We've got the Nine of Pentacles and then we have the Tower. Yeah. So the thing about this is that, well, if you look at the Tower first, right? Like these people, they were not prepared for the Tower to come in and strike. Like they're obviously on fire, right? They were not prepared. They didn't jump when the time was right, because you know that's typically like with the Tower. You see one person has jumped willingly, but while another person has been pushed, basically on like Rider-Waite imagery or traditional most tarot decks, right? But with this one, I read intuitively, and this one is telling me these people didn't jump when they had the chance. They didn't take the leap when they had the chance. And now there's some sort of like independence that is threatened because of it. I don't know if that's you or not. Or maybe you're sitting over here and you're sitting pretty, right? You are, you know, you're successful and you're independent, but this is danger over here, chaos, unexpected chaos. We're gonna actually put these up here. Let's see what else is going on. Look at, we've got the Eight of Swords with the Ace of Cups. It's like I see this eight, because look at the Eight of Swords, you see her back is here, right? She's looking at or looking towards this Ace of Cups. So this is saying that like you or someone sees something that will make him very happy or maybe very fulfilled, something, you know, very emotional. Like, look at how beautiful this card is, right? It's all about beauty, emotion, happy, peace, because of the dove, the water looks great. Look at the beautiful lotus flowers. Everything is just gorgeous, right? You see that, you want it. You could reach out for it if you wanted to. If you look at the way her hands are or the way she's bound, she's not really bound. The sword's inside the bindings. Like, shift a little here, shift a little there. The sword would cut those bindings, not a problem. But look at how loose they are. She could probably shimmy right out of them, right? So literally, this is saying you see freedom. It's right there in front of you. You see the eagle, right? Eagles represent freedom. You see freedom. You refuse to reach out and grab it. You see happiness. You see peace. You see beauty. You see all these things, yet you refuse to reach out and grab it. Kind of the energy over here as well, right? The people, well, this right here, the people who didn't take the chance, didn't jump when they had the chance. Because on this side of this card, you can see like, oh, if it'll focus better. See this, the first strike right there? This is the first strike, right? This is the warning. Nothing has crumbled yet. There isn't anybody on fire falling because the fire is still, it's just started. This is the warning when the lightning strikes. But this is like, you see the eye above the tower, right? This here, well, actually, this is the lightning striking without warning. This is like you don't see it coming. Actually, I should explain that. I should reiterate. Look at the face. It's like pure despair there because no, everything is destroyed and you did not see it coming. But this one with the eye, it's like you do, because the eye, anytime you see eyes like that, they represent intuition, foresight. So you do see it coming, and yet the people didn't jump. That's why they're on fire. They saw it coming. They saw the lightning flashing all around. They didn't get out of the way. So we're going to put that here. I wanted to pull the cards a different way, but they're all coming from the bottom of the deck. So we've got the Six of Pentacles here now, and we've got the Three of Cups. So this is actually good energy. It's like, it's like generosity, right? Like, but really I always feel like he's kind of looking at what he has and trying to decide how to share, or, you know, how he can help in some way. He's like surveying the situation from above, right? And then this one makes me feel a little bit like it's like an offering in prayer, right? Even though they're celebrating and dancing, it also looks like a ritual to me, a prayer ritual, where there's an offering being made in that cup right there that she's holding up to the sky. So, you know, take this however it resonates, but it feels like someone is contemplating some sort of support or offering of like something about an offer. I don't know exactly. Take that however it resonates for your situation. It's like someone is contemplating an offer, looking at their situation and contemplating an offer. It's like there's a warning here. Don't take too don't I don't think this is past energy. I know I was kind of reading it like I was like, look at these people, they didn't jump when they had the chance. Even though I was saying it like that, I actually feel like all of this is what's coming. It's like a warning of what's coming, where it's saying, don't take too long, or don't contemplate an offer for too long. Like jump while you have the chance, or strike while you have the chance, whatever. Take it to be successful, right? Or to be independent, to save yourself, you need to jump while you have the chance before the lightning strikes you. It feels very spontaneous. Look at now, you've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Devil. So the Devil card isn't always bad, especially in this position. It's like where this is where the Devil is getting healthy, overcoming toxicity, right? So it could be an offer to get healthy. Maybe there's an offer to get healthy and to reconcile with someone. Either you are making this offer or someone else is, right? If that's the case, don't contemplate it for too long. You might, you might wait too long. You might lose it or something. Okay. There are others affecting the situation. So the Queen of Wands, interesting that she's looking at this goddess statue here. Remember how we were bringing up the goddess energy over here as well. So the Queen of Wands is focused on, and this is fire sign energy, focused on the feminine. Or basically she's looking at all of these people over here who are kind of in control of the situation, looking at what they're doing, right? I kind of like with these people here who kind of control everything, right? Like you're waiting, like this person is waiting for someone to make a decision. Like this could be the person making the offer is what I'm getting at. It could be a fire sign making the offer. And this is what Libra that we're reading for. So it could be, I think this is someone else making an offer for you. Or well, it's someone watching other people make a decision. Interesting that we have, so on this side we've got the Four of Swords again. So I always call this card my sit down before you fall down card. And in this deck, when it's in this position, he didn't sit down when he should have, right? So again, this is like going back to this energy over here of that they didn't jump when they should have. There's something about an offer. Look at, you have all the tools you need. Do it, do it, do it. Very interesting. I'm not sure. Oh, look at, now we've got the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands. Whatever this is like clearly trying to warn you to act now, or you're gonna, it's like a heavy load, right? Very interesting though. Actually looking at this dude, his pants, it's this heavy load here. This is the same dude, I think. He was carrying all of these wands, some sort of heavy responsibility sitting on their psyche, but like the Ten of Swords has to do with betrayal or death, maybe. Maybe there's a heavy, like a heaviness that has to do with a loss. Because he is looking at this person, right? Here he's carrying the load right here, but over here maybe this death or the loss of this knight is very heavy. Maybe that's the heavy load. I feel like we need to end it here, especially because now we have 3 tens. Where I was saying somebody is watching somebody else make a decision. That's saying that it's not you well, it could be you making the decision, but I think it's you who's contemplating the offer, or this wouldn't be coming in like this. Whether it's an offer that you need to accept or an offer that you need to make, only you know what your situation is, but you've now got 3 tens, right? So that's all about a new beginning or starting over in some way. It's an offer that has that will bring about a new beginning or a new start. What's even more interesting is now we have the song Relapse by Carrie Underwood. It's all about how this new start is just like a blip, right? Don't think I'm coming back. This is just a relapse. It's like just a temporary thing. But I don't know. I don't think it, because look, lovers, hold on. Well, no, now you've got this. There's a lot of heavy energy, I'm not going to lie. But look at over here, like all positive. The Ten of Wands talks about putting down the responsibility, putting down the load. This is the end, right? The death or the end of a very difficult situation. And all of these cards here are it's describing this difficult situation, right? Which is, you can tell, kind of dark, right? Heavy. But over here with the Ten of Wands, you can see he's been carrying the load up to this place, this structure, this house, this whatever you call that house, mansion, whatever you want to call it, but he's getting ready to deliver it there. So he gets to put the load down. And then you've got all of these very bright major arcana nonetheless, the Lovers, the Fool, Temperance, the Moon. Well, in the Moon in this position is the better position for the Moon. It's more about intuition than fear. This here position for Temperance has to do with bringing balance to yourself, right? Inner balance. This is a new beginning. And the Lovers is either a decision or 2 people coming together in some way. And this is talking about a reconciliation. So putting this load down and having this reconciliation could bring about a new beginning that's very healing. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. I hope that resonates. If it does not, please stick around. There may be another reading for you here on the channel that does. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, hit the notification bell, anything you can to help me, and it really does help me, which is why I'm so grateful that you watch, and thank you.